I'm Bree. Thank you for joining me for a practice today. If you haven't got a yoga mat, feel free to do this practice on carpet, on a towel, on the floor, whatever you have available to you at home. Today's practice is a little bit about finding some movement, creating some space in our body, and just sort of lengthening out, especially if we tend to sit down for a long period of time, if you're working from home, if you're sitting in a truck, if you're sitting in machinery, or even if you're on your feet all day. You can come back to this short practice anytime you want to get some movement in your body, a few twists, a lot of length, and you may find that I do like to move quite quickly through my practice when I'm by myself, and that may come out in today's practice. But even when my body's moving quickly, I do find that internally within myself, the rhythm of my body is quite slow. So moving with the breath, we do tend to feel like we're rushing, but I'd like you today to just to focus on what's happening within. So even if the body's moving quite fluidly with the breath, just focus on that internal rhythm and just keeping that pace nice and smooth, just so that you can really enjoy. And as always, if you want to slow it down, that's always welcome too. I'll offer you a couple of options throughout the practice today, but just go with your body. And if you want to take child's pose at any time, that's always an option to you as well. All right, let's get started. So just coming up and over into child's pose. So taking the knees wide, bringing the big toes together, and just allowing the forehead to come down towards the floor. If your toes into practice a little bit early in the day, or if you're feeling a little bit stiff and sore in the back, you can just stack the forearms and just allow the head to rest right here. Just take some pressure off the back. Just allow the hips to settle back down towards the heels. In this first pose, this is where we tune into our breath. So taking a full deep breath in, and a nice long slow breath out through the nose. 2 more breaths just like that. And we start to create that warming effect through the body, starting from within, using the breath. Bring your hands a little bit underneath your shoulders, walking up onto your hands and knees. Just let the feet come flat to the floor, bring the shoulders over the wrists. And just during a cat-cow sequence, take the eye gaze up, drop the belly, lift the hips. And then scoop the belly up, tuck the chin, press the hips forward. Move with your breath now, breathing in and breathing out. Now you may know that when we do a cat-cow, it is one plane of motion. You can always change it up as it feels good for your body. So you might like to draw some circles with the hips, roll the shoulders. This is one of my favourite poses to do, especially because you can find movement in any direction. And all of it is good for juicing up the back, really getting some movement through the spine. And your last exhale, just come back to a neutral spine, reset your body, and then just taking one arm up into the air, taking a big breath in. And as you breathe out, sweep the hand underneath to come and thread the needle. Bring the side of the face and the shoulder down to the floor. Now keep the other hand grounded if that feels like it supports you a little bit better. Just allow the hips to come back to center. And depending on how much space you have, you might like to walk the other arm forward and across to the other side of your mat. And just making sure it's not putting any pressure or too much pressure on the back. A lovely shoulder stretch. Lovely rotation through the back. And taking 2 more breaths. Very gently sliding the hand back, the hand extended. Press the ground away, breathing in, reaching the hand high up to the sky. Exhale to release. Coming to the other side, so big breath in. Slow breath out. Just notice what happens to your hips. Maybe you need to draw the hips back to center. Reset them to the ceiling. Go where your body feels good today. Drawing your head back underneath your shoulder. Pressing the ground away with some energy. Big breath in. Big breath out. Just walk your hands one hand space forward. Tuck your toes. Come to downward facing dog. We're going to start to lift the energy up a little bit here. Start to find some movement. So with your down dog, just let the head hang heavy. So we find some length through our spine. Maybe move the shoulders as well. Maybe rock forward and back to plank a few times. Just bring some warmth into the body. This is where you get to move how it feels good for your body. So tune in. Use your intuition here as to what feels right. And keep coming back to your breath. Very slowly start to walk your feet towards your hands. Bring your feet hip distance apart, coming into a forward fold. Once again, just let the head hang heavy. You may even just like to gently press on the back of the neck, just to make sure the head's down. Bend your knees as much as you need to create some space through your back. And you might like to take ragdolls, just taking hold of the elbows, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe bouncing, nodding your head. And let's see if we can draw some length down through the back, down through the back of the legs. If you've taken ragdoll, release your hands, bring them back down to the floor. And see if you can let go of your shoulders here, so just relax the shoulders down too. Coming into a halfway lift, so keeping the hands on the floor, or maybe bringing them up to the shins. Breathing big breath in, extending long through the spine. And as you breathe out, just bend your knees and lay your body back down. As you inhale, slowly roll all the way up to standing. The head comes up last. Taking a big breath in, lifting the hands up over your head. And as you breathe out, bring the hands to heart center, finding your Tadasana. And just close down your eyes here and take a moment to tune into your body. We just moved a lot. We created some space. So you might like to rock your body forward onto the balls of your feet, maybe back onto the heels. Maybe picking up all the toes, placing them down one at a time. Notice what's happened to your shoulders. If they've started to lift up, see if you can roll them back and down behind you. Let's make our way through a nice short sequence now. So taking a deep breath in, lifting the hands up over your head. As you breathe out, take a big dive forward all the way down. Now from here, you might like to keep your feet wide, or you can always walk your feet together. So bring the toes to touch, heels slightly apart, the edges of your feet parallel with the edges of your mat, if you're on a mat. Inhale, find halfway lifts, so keep the hands on the floor this time if you've got the space. Exhale, press your hands into the mat, stepping back long to a plank position, shoulders over wrists. Just turn the eyes of your elbows inwards so we create some strength through our shoulders. Knees come down and we untuck the toes. We're coming into a low plank. So set the shoulders forward of the wrists so you've got some space. Elbows hug the body, coming all the way down to the ground. Nose resting on the mat, elbows hug the body, pull the shoulder blades back. Now find some energy in your cobra pose, taking a big breath in, lifting the chest, maybe just lifting the hands off the ground. And as you breathe out, tuck the toes, come back over the knees to downward facing dog. Should be a little bit smoother now. You've got a bit more space. So maybe hold still in your down dog and just explore the body. Bend your knees as much as you need to so that you can really extend that tailbone up and back behind you, long spine. Just 2 breaths here. On your next inhale, lifting one leg high to 3-legged dog, press the heel back. Let's energize the back body. Big breath in. And as you breathe out, step the foot forward, drop the back knee down, untuck the toe, pressing the hand to the floor. Breathing in and opening in towards that knee, taking the hand up to the sky. Now really press the hand up here. We're going to create energy right up through the fingertips. Taking one more big breath in. As you breathe out, bring the hand back to the floor. Now you can choose to keep the knee down, or you can tuck the toe and lift the knee, coming into crescent lunge. So keep the weight quite forward in that front leg, breathing in, lifting the hands up. And as you breathe out, just drop into your shape. Maybe take the hands back a little bit further. Maybe, depending on your shoulders, you might like to bring the hands here. Roll shoulders back. Find your breath. We're not here for too long. If your hands are up or if your hands are at your heart center, release the hands down by your sides. Now press the hands back behind you, lift the backs of your hands. Inhale, start to lean forward. Exhale, find arrow pose. Big bend in that knee. On your next inhale, sweep the back leg forward. So if you had your knee down, you're lifting it up first. Bring the knee up. And then we're hooking the ankle onto the knee, bringing the hands to heart, just coming into standing pigeon. We're not here for too long, just finding a little bit of balance. Lift your chest, tuck your tailbone under. And if this is too much, you can always bring the foot down to the floor if that feels better. One more breath, settle in a little bit deeper. Big breath in, lifting the knee back up to the sky, arms reach. And as you exhale, sweep the arms back, coming into warrior 3. Press the heel away, dive the chest forward. On your next exhale, releasing down into that rolling lunge position. Drop the hips down. Bring the hands flat to the floor, step the foot back. And this time, staying on the toes if you can, lowering halfway. Finding your cobra pose, or if you have a bit more space in your back now, coming into upward facing dog. Exhale, find downward facing dog. And we'll get to that all again on the other side. So let the breath take calm. If you need to, just drop down here for a moment, catch your breath. And very slowly coming back up to downward facing dog if you took a rest. If you're still in down dog, well done. Inhale, lift the other leg high, now long to the back. Exhale, bend the knee right high up in the chest. Before you place down, back knee down to the floor, untuck the toe, finding your twist. Now just press that hand into the ground, so create that energy from the bottom hand, and then right up to the shoulders, and right out to the fingertips. Feels good to twist. Inhale, bring your hand to the floor, and once again, getting the back knee down if that feels better, or tuck the toe. Find energy in both your legs, big breath in. As you breathe out, drop in, roll the shoulders back and down. Maybe turn the pinkies in here, activate the shoulders. And as always, if you need, hands to heart center. As you can hear, my birds really enjoy my yoga practice in the morning. You get to enjoy their noise as well. Alright, sweeping the arms back, pressing energy away, leaning forward, big breath in. Big breath out, find that length right from your heel up to the crown of your head. Shift the weight forward, knee up if it's down. Big breath in, lift the knee. Big breath out, hook the ankle, flex the toes. Push the hips back. Keep the chest lifted if you can. If you lean forward slightly, that's okay. And if you lose balance, that's okay too. Shoulders back. Hopefully you're feeling the heat like I am. One more breath. Big breath in, lifting the knee up. Exhale, warrior two. Warrior three. Chest dives. Landing softly now. Lifting the chest, settling into your lunge first. Then we bring the hands to the floor. Knees up or down, strong in your low plank. And then a big breath in, lift the thighs off the ground. Now energize your body, press the tops of your feet into the mat. Exhale, downward facing dog. And that's the hard part of our sequence over. I told you it was nice and short today. Now you can choose to step your feet through to a cross leg. If you want to have a little bit of fun, you can always practice jumping your feet through and come and take a seat. How smooth can you make it? Really smooth. Alright, extend your legs. Lift your hips. And just move everything out of the way so you can really find the hips pushing back but the pelvis is tilting forward. Draw the toes back. And just coming into rod pose to start with. So we lean back just slightly and find length right up to the crown of the head. Big breath in. As you breathe out, just let the body come forward. Now if you're like me and you find that you lack a bit of space, particularly in the hamstrings or maybe in the lower back, what you can do is just bend your knees. And I find that gives me the space to bring the chest forward and keep the spine long. A little bit of curve is okay, but we really, really want to keep the length in the back. And then as you feel your body soften into the stretch, you can just let go of the head. Let the head pull you forward slightly. And find a soft, steady breath to match. You should notice what happened to your mind as you start to move quickly and strongly. Did the mind stay smooth? Did the breath allow you to have a slow inner cadence? That's what it's all about. You're never going to rush a lot of the time. But even the internal voice, if we can keep it slow, it's just going to help you in everyday life. Just match any kind of stress, any kind of craziness in your world with just an edge of slowness from within. Just very gently breathing in, coming up, and just bringing the knees in towards the chest as we roll that onto our back. You can hug the knees in close. You can wrap the arms if you have the space. You might like to rock from side to side, but I find I like to draw circles at this point. Just continuing to wake and move the back one way and the other. Now we found standing pigeon. I'd like to explore it a little deeper now from a reclining position. So just bring both your feet down to the floor. Just hooking one ankle onto the knee, just like you did in standing. Flex the toes back towards you. You can even use your hand here just to press the knee wide. Depending on how this feels, this might be enough for you. Or you might like to draw the knee in and either take hold behind the knee, or maybe clasp your hands in front. And this is a matter of finding a position where you can hold comfortably and where you can breathe comfortably. And just allow yourself some space now to breathe, to stretch. Feel that quiet energy running through you now. just coming over to the other side, so changing. You might want to do some windscreen wiper movements in between. And then coming to the other side. Now you may notice it's a little bit different on this side. So just adjust how you move accordingly. So I find I have a little bit less range on this side. So taking a hold behind the knee is usually enough. And if you do feel like a particular stretch is a challenge for you, feel free to lean into it a little. Maybe explore why it's a challenge for you. You spend a lot of time sitting, sometimes that external rotation of the hip can be a challenge. So maybe find yourself coming into this stretch a little more often to help that. Just taking one more big breath in as you breathe out, releasing your stretch. Taking the arms wide, arms facing up, coming into twisted roots. So you can choose to take a regular supine twist. If you'd like to make it a little bit deeper today, just cross one knee over the other. And I find a little helpful tip is to slide the hips back before you let your knees fall across. Top leg stays on top as your knees fall. Adjust your shoulders. You might like to bring your hand onto the knee just to give you a little bit of support. And then if you've got the space right up into your neck, just pick up the head, just start to look down the opposite arm. Remembering at any time, if the twist is too much, just stack the knees one on top of the other. No matter where you land, stay true to your body. Very gently releasing that top leg, bring the knees together like mine are. Very slowly bring the knees back up to center. A little bit of time to let the spine settle. And coming to the other side when you're ready. Things are moving a little bit fast for you. Feel free to come back and revisit these stretches at the end of this video. Once you've experienced something that resonates with you, just come back to it. Slowly releasing the top leg, Bring the knees back to center. Once again, head the knees from side to side, just release the twist. Coming into our fighter posture, we're going to bring the soles of the feet together, take the knees wide. Coming into extended butterfly, so you can keep the arms here, or you might like to take them up over your head. Gently holding the elbows. And just allow the body to melt onto the mat. And you might like to choose to spend the last few moments of your practice right here. You always make your way to a Shavasana position. This is where you can stay connected with your breath a little bit longer. And allow your body to absorb that lovely short, sharp practice. If you'd like to find your Shavasana, make your way there now. Just allowing a couple of minutes, maybe even shorter. Most important part of your practice is coming into a quiet place to finish. If you'd like to stay longer in your Shavasana, please do. Otherwise, make your way with me, bringing the knees in towards the chest. Very gently rolling onto one side. And slowly coming up to a seated position. Bring your hands to heart center. I hope you enjoyed that short practice. And whether it's lunchtime, whether it's nighttime, whether it's the morning, whatever time you've chosen to step onto your mat, I hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions or feedback about the yoga that we're offering you, if you have any suggestions, please feel free to let me know. I would love to hear or see any comments that you might have. But for now, I'll see you next time. Namaste.